Let's do this again. Take five. I'm back on YouTube. I'm back on YouTube. And this time I am here to stay, bitches. I ain't going no fucking where. Because why is this so hard? Because why is this so hard? Why is it so hard to be consistent on YouTube? I don't understand. Like, my audiences on TikTok, on Instagram, everyone is like, set a YouTube channel. And I'm just like, I can't fucking stay consistent with it. And so I'm going to give it another big final consistency. I'm going to be on YouTube until I am maybe 65. Well, that's a stretch, but the goal is to be here, to be consistent every single Thursday. You are going to be seeing my face. I am going to be talking to you. And honestly, fuck it. We're going to do a mixture of shit. We are going to do travel content, coaching content. I'm going to be showing you my apartment in America, like the most random stuff that I've always wanted to do on YouTube, but I haven't done. So what I thought we could do today is kind of give you a 2024 review. But before that, I'm going to tell you about this smoothie. This smoothie is so good. We've got avocado, we've got banana, we've got green apple, baby spinach, not a bit of, a scoop of protein powder, some almond milk, and it is, mm, mm. I've been on this health and fitness journey for a while now, and I feel good, y'all. I feel so freaking good. I'm gonna do another video about the feeling good because there was a time. Listen, there was a time where the Han was going through it. There was a time where the Han was going through it and the Han didn't think she was going to survive it. But here we are, bitches, with a big smile on our faces. And I'm going to do my best to stop using the B word because someone I really, really like told me, hey, this is not great. Why do you do this? Okay, zen in, zen out, come back, let it flow. What I wanted to do this week, I don't know why I just had this burst of energy, but what I wanted to do this week is bring you into what this year has looked like. I cannot be the only one freaking out that we are on the last 2.5 months, like, okay, two and a little bit more than 2.5 months of 2024. And I'm looking back at this year and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? So I am going to do my best to kind of like dig deep into memory. I'm going to be posting some videos for you here just so you know, like, what has Coach Kanye been up to? I am going to bring you into the beautiful, the ugly, and the in between to where we are now and the decisions that we're making and the big, scary, bold moves that we're making. And I hope that everything I share, that it resonates and it helps you as you make your big, scary, bold decisions, because that's what life is about, right? Life is about making those big, scary decisions and hoping that the universe will catch us when we choose to jump, trusting that the universe will catch us when we finally allow ourselves to jump into the abyss of decision making. Okay. 2024. It started off as an absolute shit show. Towards the end of 2023, my 5-year relationship ended. We were married and I was heartbroken. I felt so alone. The only reason I am in the States is because we moved together, my ex and I. And so here I am in America alone. So I took myself to Mexico. There are some Mexico videos. Hopefully I figure out this editing thing. And I was in Mexico for 2 months with my big, soft, broken heart. And I was sitting with some like, what now questions. I was sitting with, what do I do now? Who am I now? What do I want to create with my life? What do I want my next relationship to look like? Everything that you can think of. And I was in the thick of that grief, right? Fast forward to end of November, I come back, I get an apartment, my ex and I are talking. We're in therapy, we're trying to figure out if we want to get back together. I think I want to get back together. And she starts dating other people. I go into more grief. Like, it was, when I say shit show, okay? When I say shit show, it was a shit show. And I don't say that lightly because I know that I have this energy. I'm taking these micro mushrooms and they just like give me so much clarity and energy throughout my day. But honestly, it was a lot of fucking pain. It was a lot of heartache. It was a lot of sadness. It was a lot of grief. And those first 2 months of 2024 were really, I mean, from December up until January, I tell you what, like February, really. And they were just hard. It was hard to navigate ending a relationship and figuring out how to move forward. So we went to therapy, her and I. Our therapist was like, "What are we doing here?" And I think there was like a time where she actually fired us. Have you ever been fired by your therapist? I think there was a time where a therapist was just like, "I'm going to fire you because I don't know what we're doing here." And so that ends. Still a lot of like lingering stuff from divorce. What do we do now? She's actually a neighbor. Talk about lesbianism, right? I don't like that ism. I don't know why I used it, but it was like she lives in a building right next to mine. We barely see each other. And when we do, it's not fun. Sometimes it's fun, and sometimes it's not fucking fun because that shit hurts. I do not recommend it to anybody. Don't do it. And so going through that was hard, but the universe is so beautiful. I spoke about this where it's like the universe will give you something that will make you happy while you are in the thick of stuff, right? Like, so all of this is going on, and I get my first TEDx talk. And so in February of this year, I did my first TEDx talk. I'm going to link it here. Please go watch it. It is titled The Real Cost of People Pleasing. And that topic was so important for me because even when the 5-year relationship ended, I was tracking back my behaviors from that relationship to the relationship before that. And I was like, y'all, a lot of this stuff, the breakdown happens when I don't self-advocate. It happens when I say yes to things I really want to fucking say no to. It says yes when it goes crazy and painful for me and the other person. When I am not showing up in my authenticity, when I relationship from myself, from my abandonment wound, right? Because when you are relationshiping from your abandonment wound, you are always going to try to make sure that the other person doesn't leave. So you will say yes to shit that you should really be saying no to, just so you don't experience the pain of them leaving. And in that process, you are now abandoning yourself. The last conversation that made me go, I can't do this anymore with my ex was like, I feel like I've gotten to a point in our relationship where I am self-harming. I have gotten into a point in our relationship where I am realizing that my behaviors are harmful to me and I don't want to live like that anymore. Right. And so anyway, I forgot what was that. I forgot. TEDx talk, The Real Cost of People Pleasing. I went to Charlotte this year. It was so amazing. It was such. Please watch the TED Talk. Share it with people that you think will resonate with it. Please, yes. Anyway, what else happened this year? This year, I hesitate telling this part, but it was this year too. I let my freaking heart fall for someone else. Let's drink. mm, mm, mm. Can this be wine for this part? I met someone this year who, she's not dead, who I found beautiful inside and out. And I'm not going to divulge. It's like I'm going to divulge my experience because I don't want to put her shit out there. But the relationship, situationship, how it started out was so fun and light and joyous. And she met me in London, and we had the best 2 weeks in London. It was those relationships where someone helps you redefine love. I don't know if that makes sense, but they help you redefine what it feels like to be loved and to be seen and to be enjoyed and to hold space for safety for you. In my past relationships, I would feel like I was the one who had to be the strong one, the one who had to carry the emotional labor of a relationship. And when you play that role in a relationship, there's not enough room for your emotions because now you are taking up space that belongs to someone else. But in this relationship, it was so beautiful to feel safe in my feelings, to feel safe to be like, yo, I know I'm Kanye, and I show up in the world with this like strength. But I hurt. I cry. I have days that are just shitty. I am healing through stuff. And one of the most beautiful things that this person taught me was to like lead with truth. Like she was like, what are your green flags? What are your red flags? How do you handle conflict? Like having those conversations in the beginning of the relationship was so freaking revolutionary for me. Obviously, I'm talking about it in the past tense because it ended, and the end was so hard because this person felt like they felt like I'd known them before, like a past life connection. And someone asked me about soulmates. They're like, can you like the most recent relationship feels? Because I fucking grieved that shit on Instagram stories. Yeah, I grieved it on Instagram stories. My Instagram stories were so sad. And so people were watching me go through this and they were like, who's this, right? And they're like, oh, did you learn about soulmates? And I was like, you can have more than one. I know that the next person I'm going to be partnered with, if it does not feel like a soul connection, oh, I also don't want to like over romanticize meeting someone, but there's this like that feeling of I think I've known you in a past life, and I think I've loved you in a past life. And honestly, this breakup is for the first time in my history of breaking up with someone where I feel so incomplete. You know, where you're just like, I didn't get to love you in the ways that I knew I could. I didn't have enough time. It was 4 months where my anxious attached people at. It was 4 months. And the reason it was hard, it's because it was such an impactful 4 months. And so that happened in 2024. And I know I'm just like chop it, chop it, chop it, choppy. So what I can do actually, if you guys have questions in the comments, there's like a topic that you want me to get deeper into, we can do that. We can totally like ask me questions in the comment section and I'll create videos around that. But I also this year I went to South Africa. Oh my God. Okay, back to traveling. So relationship stuff, that's where we are. I am healing through, fuck, I almost said her name. I am healing through it with so much love and kindness and gratitude for her because I honestly think this person changed my life for the best, like for the better. And so I'm going through the feels about that. But I went to South Africa. I hadn't been home in 4 years. And I left home in 2020, the last time I went to visit. I haven't been living in South Africa for 14 years now. But the last time I had gone to visit was March of 2020. Like I went with the ex, the 5 year one. And I wish I could have taken the 4 month one there too. But I like as like airports were closing, my ex and I were like New York, like Cape Town shut down. The next day we leave, it shuts, like that type of thing. And so when I went back home, it was so amazing. I'm going to put videos here. I was so happy to be home. I ate all the food. Like, I ate everything. And I was with my grandmother, my grandmother is right here, and my grandfather is right there. My grandfather was such a player. Look at all those ladies being like, hey. And so I also had like hosted an event in Johannesburg. I had a group of ladies. We had lunch together, and I'm going to be hosting them next year again. But it's going to look a bit different. It will be like an actual coaching seminar versus like a dinner. But I went home, and then after going home, I was in London. Y'all, 2024 has been the absolutely most. I was in London. I was in London for about 2 weeks. This is where the Lady Love came and met me. And I went to this amazing bookstore, y'all. If you are in London and you're watching this video, please go to the Common Press. It is a wonderful space for queer authors and allies. And I did 2 readings there. It was so amazing. But I have to say though, don't be mad at me. London and food. London and food. I mostly ate foods from different parts of the world, like Indian, Turkish food. Oh my God, we had the most amazing Turkish food there. We actually had Colombian food as well. But like fish and chips? No, babes. Mm-mm. The English breakfast with the beans? Stop it. Stop it. But everything else was beautiful. I felt so cool. Like, and also like London is such a diverse city. Like, I live in Austin, y'all, and I'm sorry, it's a white city. It's so white. In London, everyone is in London. And I was in East London, so it was artsy. There's like art everywhere. I was like, yo, I like fashion is one of my favorite things to kind of like incorporate in my work. I haven't done it as much as I want to. And I think with the YouTube channel back, we can do it. But London is like, it's fashion, it's queerness, it's art, it was just, it's cold. It's all the things, right? And so it was absolutely gorgeous. And then I was also in Germany this year. Woo! This rundown is making me dizzy. This rundown is making me dizzy because it is still 2024. I was in Germany at an African book festival for my first book, which is titled Traveling While Black and Lesbian. I'm going to link it on here. If you're queer, you're Black, or if you just want to, hear the experiences of Black queer travelers, or if you want to just hear how we experience the world differently from you, I would say go check out the book. But I was surrounded by African authors, and when Africans, when we see each other, it's a good time. So Germany was fantastic. I came back from Germany and I was in my apartment and I signed divorce papers. Yo, signing divorce papers is hard, even when you're going to be doing it. There's finality there. There's like a clear cut ending where it's done. You're like, it's not that you were hoping. I wasn't hoping. My ex has moved on. I've moved on. But there was something about signing those divorce papers that was just so painful. Like, we hugged and we cried a lot. And that was nice for us to do it. It's not that we were just angry at each other. It just happened in a way where we can't be friends right now. And that's okay. I'm someone that's just like, let's be friends after this. But in this situation, it's been a stretch to have a friendship. Maybe it's a bit too soon. It's a bit too raw. I am also focusing on moving on. and moving forward with my life. She's doing the same. I'm good. I hope she's good too. So that happened. Divorce papers. Whew, why am I sounding like I'm gonna cry? Let me drink something. Let me take a sip. And then still 2024. What else should I bring you into? I have then since decided, because I came to the States with her, and when we actually came to America, it wasn't for us to live here. We were on our way to Mexico. We're like, we'll do 6 months, go to Mexico, world shuts down, we get married, I get the papers, I get jobs, I get laid off from those jobs. All these things are like happening. But I've never been someone who had this deep desire to live in America. And I've been here for 4 years now. So I've decided that this is going to be my last year here. And that means I have to figure out where to next. So definitely home, definitely Asia, definitely like, I've never been someone that likes to root down. I'll do another video about this, but it's still 2024. The year is still going. And what I'm realizing for myself is like, I'm not the person I was when this year started, in every single way, in every single fucking way. And that makes me so happy. Right down to those moments of sheer vulnerability where I wasn't feeling good, where I was in my feelings and I was in my grief. And instead of being like, I am a strong Black woman, I picked up my phone, I called my friends, I said, I am sitting in my bathtub crying because I'm so hurt. And I allowed my friends to be in my pain in the same way that I allow them to be in my joy, right? Like my friends got to see me in my most vulnerable moments. And I share that with you because when we think about change and how our lives have changed in a year, we want to reach for things that are tangible. I bought a house, I bought a car, I moved cities, I moved, like we want to look, but we don't really take the time to look at our behaviors. How have we changed as human beings? How have we changed in the way we respond and react to life? And for me, that has been the biggest change. That has been the biggest shift. And it took a village to get there. It took reading books. It took journaling. It took awareness. It took sitting down with things that were so difficult to sit with. It took looking at myself. And so if you're kind of like watching this video and being like, what happened for me this year? What changed for me? What shifted? Did that relationship end? Did you finally choose yourself and leave a toxic situation? I am so proud of you. Did you change that job that was wearing you down? I am so proud of you. Did you set boundaries with family members? I am so proud of you. Look at these emotional strides that you've taken this year and pat yourself in the back because, honey, I promise you, that's how you know you're growing. You are not responding to life the way that you used to. So I hope that your 2024 was as messy as, or is, it's not over yet. We still have almost 3 months. I hope it is as powerful, it is as beautiful, it is as messy, it is as revolutionary, it is as destructive as mine was, because with everything that has happened to my life this year, I would not change a thing. I would not change a thing because every single experience has created this person that is sitting in front of you now, promising you to believe that if you subscribe, okay, if you subscribe, I promise you every Thursday there will be a video for you on YouTube. And I will see you next week. Be good to yourself and treat yourself with the kindness and tenderness that you treat everyone else.